And Pink Union wants me to drink some tea. Silver Knight wants me to drink some tea. And Diabolitio, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Alright, so what are we going to build in Babylon next? We could get another astronomy house, though I don't think that's really going to be worthwhile. We could start getting some farmers, bearing in mind our adjacency bonuses. And I'm kind of leaning towards this. Or we could build one of the specialists. So, for example, the millstone, which will give us +4 food, because we've... Now, does the territory which the outpost is in count as one of our territories? Probably. In which case we would get +4. I don't know if it counts the one that you are in. I would imagine so. And that only takes 2 turns. And 4 to 8 food I think would be a fairly hefty number, because we're only producing 4 right now. Think. Yeah, and the more food production you have, the faster your city grows. We've got the granary, which is +5 per territory, and also gives us another farmer slot. So if we get the population growing very quickly, we can squeeze in another farmer. Or the tanning racks would be more money. As much as I want the money, I'm going to be relying on my scouts to bring it in. I'm very tempted by the granary, because it's more efficient than the millstone. But the millstone's only 30 production. It is so cheap. Yeah, 2 turns versus 8. No, we're doing a millstone. Let's get the growth going. Not for the millstone, this refers to attached territories. Okay, but it does count for the outpost then, I assume. I like the artwork. So do I. Actually, my favourite piece of art is technology. I really, really like how they've done the tech, where as you hover over, you can see like the extensions. The first time I saw that, I was like, that's really cool. And then they stick around when you've actually done the research. I really like that. It's such a simple thing, but it's super effective. I really, really like that. It's cool. Okay, close you. Babylon's building. We're still saving money, and turn. Babylon's also, I think, making us more money. Yeah. Alright, so we can push north. We could go for the sanctuary for the 22 ducatses, or we could go for the unknown item and then attack the deer. I kind of like that plan. We're going to do this. So we got 5 ducats, and now we're going to go and fight the deer. We do outnumber, well, we have stronger. We are stronger than they are. So here's the battle. So, our 2 scouts against 2 deer. We can confirm this battle or we can retreat. Retreat basically runs away, obviously. And confirm battle means we're going to join in. This will then zoom in into a tactical combat which anyone who has done Endless Legends is probably familiar with. You can manually do this, so we can change where our units are deployed. I'm going to deploy our guys up on the hills, because they do get defense bonuses on the hills, or attack bonuses, something like that. Maybe we'll do this. No, I think I want you next to each other so you can support. Then we're going to end deployment. So theoretically our turn. Do we want to press forward? I think we do. We'll move you here and then attack down the hill into these guys. Oh, we can't because we moved 2, I assume. Oh, you probably have to click it on that turn. Well, I guess we'll defend. That's annoying. But he's attacking up the hill. We did 73 damage, we took 8. And that time we took 10 and they took, not sure. Now we can choose to attack. So we can go down the hill, basically killing that guy. I think that's a good plan. And then we can move you here. Nope. Okay, so move and attack has to be done one move. We are expecting to do between 50 and 60 damage, and we'll take between 5 and 10. Do it. And there we go. Both of the deer are dead. We did take some damage to one of our units, but that's okay. We won. And now, there is supposedly a place to see what rewards you got. I was watching Havoc earlier, and it was shown. But I'm not sure where that was. Cat o' Nine Tails, if you can point that one out, that'd be great. Can move and attack separately, no need to order the attack at the same time as you move. Guess they could only move twice then? Clicking on the victory banner. Look on the right. Ah, here, right. Okay, so when the first time I clicked on this, I only saw this. I didn't realise that this was also showing the spoils of war. That could probably do with being here. Because that's kind of out the way, and your eye is not drawn to it. So, we won. We gained 20 ducats, which has put us over the 100. Yeah, it's a bit weird that you get money from fighting deer instead of, I don't know, food in your nearest settlement. But hey, I'll take it. So, this town can now be upgraded to a city. It'll take 3 turns. It'll cost us the 100 ducats, but we're doing it. And you have moved, you have nothing else to do, science is still going. End turn. Carpentry. The art of woodworking is essential for bow making and lays the foundations for future construction. Alright, awesome. I think the mammoths might be a bit peeved with my deer slaying tendencies, so we're probably going to move away. Now I should explain that you do regenerate health over time if you're in your own territory. So even if you just have a territory claimed, you will regenerate while in that land. And I think if you, like, sleep or something, you probably gain more. I think it's meant to be the selling of the furs and the antlers because they don't spoil, while the meat will. Ah, that does make more sense. Yeah, trapping. Okay. It's just in this era, like, especially in the ancient era, I would have expect hunting to be for food, not for resources. Maybe that's something that should evolve as the game goes on. You start with food, and then you, later on, start getting money instead. I don't know. We are going to run past the mammoths. Unfortunately, we cannot go towards them, because they do, I think, exert a zone of control. So we are instead going to run... This is actually very annoying. I wanted to see what was over here. I guess we'll go north. We'll go here. Seems like a good spot. And there we go. We've seen the Great Northern Ocean. Probably. Oh no, it's a lake. Interesting. What's this? A prairie with volcanic earth. Food and industry and vision. Interesting. Okay, so scouts have been moved. You are still building another 2 turns. And Babylon has finished building the millstone. So we are now producing more food here. We're actually going to get population growth next turn, which is going to be great. We could build a lumberyard, which is +1 industry on exploitation. I assume... Ah, it's the shape of the tile that determines what they are. I was wondering earlier how you could differentiate between the stuff that's built in the city and the stuff that's an expansion, exploitation, whatever they're called. Shape of the tile. So if it's a hexagon... Yeah, hexagon. Then it's a tile building, and if it's a square, it's in your center. And if it's a half hexagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be a... What's a 5-sided triangle? I don't remember. Then it's a unit. So we could get the lumberyard for the extra production, though we are not currently producing very much. Did we build the farm in the end? We did not. So I think now we're going to get the farm. And because of the way the adjacencies work, maybe doing it here. I don't know if we have an exploitation which does food and production. I haven't seen anything which does that. Or we could build here, because I know there are several things, for example the merchants' buildings, which do also get adjacencies from farms. So if we could have a farm here and it provides adjacencies to both of these, that would be great. So this provides 3 extra food. Let's do it. Let's exploit that land. Pentagon. That's it. Yeah, it's the US military has a copyright on that word. They don't really. Probably. Didn't notice the shape of the icons. No, I did. Five-sided triangle is not a triangle, it's a pentagon, though this is an irregular one. Yeah, the pointy bit was the bit I meant with the triangle, and then I was like, there's also a square under it, but that means it has 5 sides. Pentagon. Okay, so, research. We are going to go and take a look what is available. So we've got carpentry, this leads to fishing. We're not on the coast. Or are we? Hang on, yeah we are. We're on the coast, we're not on a river. Ah, fishing might actually be useful. I skipped that one because I was just completely blocked out the fact that it was like, I don't have a river, therefore no water. That's not true. So we could get fishing. Collection of harborside proto-industry such as shipbuilders, net weavers and line makers support small vessel fishing and coastal warriors. This is going to give +1 food on coastal and on rivers. Not that useful though, because we don't have those rivers and we could build a harbour. +1 money per adjacent market quarter. Now, all of the territories adjacent to the ocean right now are probably going to be farms. So, I don't think fishing is necessarily the path we want to follow. Maybe writing, double down on the science? Or masonry, we can get stoneworks. Ah, here we go. +1 industry on mountains, we do know we have several of those, and then also +5 industry on strategic resources. We have copper in the new city, so getting a stoneworks in preparation for that city I think would be great. Although, how long is it going to take us to reach this? We'll have to build here, and we'll have to... Is that 1 or 2? Is there a way of making the grid a bit brighter? That was one of my favourite things about Old World, so you could change how bright the grid was. Not seeing any way of doing that. Bit annoying, because the grid's really obvious in the places you haven't been, and far less obvious in the places you actually are. Ah, here we go. Yeah, it's 2 tiles. We need to build something here or here, and then we get that one. Cool. Science is done. Did we do... I keep pressing shift to try and move the map faster, and it just stops it. That was the other thing. The initial setup for moving the map around was kind of bizarre. Instead of using WASD, it was like AZSX or something. Yeah, I changed that. It was the very first thing I did was change that to WASD. Because I couldn't work out how to pan the map. Like, the middle mouse button doesn't work. Moving to the edge of the map didn't work. Turns out you have to click and drag. And I'm always scared of clicking and dragging, because clicking to me means I'm trying to do something. So, WASD. Much more useful. Okay, you guys have in fact moved. Let's end turn. Grid button is bottom right next to the end turn button. Aha! That one. Boom! I will be keeping that one on. Cool. Thank you. Alright, new event. A melody for every occasion 2. Music has flourished across the Empire in light of your choice to hire street musicians. Of course, the style is more chaotic than formal, but the sounds are energetic, alive, and ever-evolving. New instruments emerge all of the time. The exciting, turbulent musical culture is well established. Jingle jangle. Music is not some sacred art for the few. Everyone should be free to pursue their talents. Cool. Understood. So, being stingy didn't cost us. Basically is what that means. Did we get a city built here this turn? I think it's next turn. Next turn. However, the deer are massing next to us. So do I want to continue searching north? I have a feeling, well, we can actually see the edge. This is all going to be ocean. So I don't think there's any real point going north. We could go west to discover what this is and see a bit more of the horse territory. And you know what? I probably want access to horses eventually, so let's take a look. Oh, dear. He's on his own. We could fight him. Let's fight him. Confirm. And then the other thing you can do is just automate the whole thing. Click. And they'll fight for themselves. And there we go. Victory is ours. So we couldn't quite reach out that far. Did we get the searchy thing? Or did the deer pinch it? Because it was here, wasn't it? In the full game, this jingle jangle consequence will actually shift your ideology, but ideology is not in OpenDev. Oh, cool. Okay. All rise for the national anthem. Jingle jangle. Holy moly, how do I get my hands on this? Haven't seen anyone else play this yet. Very kindly was offered it by Amplitude via Sega, who I've worked with in the past. So this is very much kudos to Sega and Amplitude for getting me a copy of this so I could try it out and show it to you. As I was saying earlier, most of the footage you will have seen online is B-roll, so it's not stuff they've recorded, it's video that they then talk over. I think this is probably one of the first times where an influencer is actually showing it. I think. Don't quote me on that. Alright, and turn. So, Babylon still building the upgrade. Nippur! Haha! We have our second city. Proudly atop another little mountaintop, and then we've got all the little farms appearing around the edge. I really like the artwork in this, I have to say. Like in Civilization 6, the cartoony art just didn't work that well, but in this it does. They've kind of taken it and run with it. Okay, so let's see what's available. We could go down the science path and get another astronomy house, though I'm wondering if we want to try and get the production. In fact, that's a huge amount of production here. 5 industries, so perhaps we want the artisans quarter. Wait, artisans quarters produce everything? Oh, it must be placed on a luxury. Okay. Do we have anything that actually does production? Yeah, Maker's Quarter does. So this would exploit that huge production. And then next to that we can get the Artisan's Quarter, which would benefit the most from a market being adjacent. So this is probably going to have to be a market. Although the adjacencies to that market are going to be limited. We're kind of squashed a little bit here. Or we could go north. That's the copper. That's salt. We don't care about salt as much. Copper is the one we're really after. So we could go farm, or maybe, actually no, what we could do is merchants, farm here, or maybe market here, farm. That's probably better. Market here. So this should be something like a farm. Or it could even be an astronomy house. So then we could go farm, and then both of these get the adjacencies. It takes 8 turns regardless. I do like my astronomy houses. You know what, we're going astronomy house. Okay. Nippur is building its thing. Babylon's building its thing. We're going to scroll slowly north. There we go. And then grab you lot. Let's continue. This is actually the beginning of another territory. Dry grass on black soil. I don't think I want to go quite that far away, though. Because I don't think we're really going to be able to exploit that very quickly. Although, if we do go for the horses, we are going to go here. Now, here's the choice we have to make. Do we go for the horses, or do we go for the natural wonder? Yes, correct. All the previous footage was recorded and provided by us, so today is the first time content creators can live stream. Yeah, thank you for that. I very much appreciate being invited. Because I've had this game on my radar for quite a long time. I'm a big fan of Civilization. Alright, and Endless, in fact. I haven't played as much Endless, but I have played it. Next up, we're going to go to the top of the mountain so we can look around. Oh, no, wait, stop. Go there. Carcasses, 10 money. Cool. Alright, now we're going to go this way. Next turn. So be it. Wonder first, please. I don't even have any wonders yet. Yeah, I've played a lot of Endless Legend. I haven't played as much Endless Space. 1 or 2. But I really like Legend. I like Civilization Normality. Why don't I play it on Twitch? Unfortunately, it just doesn't do that well. Like, I've tried doing Civ 6 a few times and it's just had, like, record low viewership. It's really annoying. I should probably try it again, because it has been a year or 2 since I did. Danakil Desert is a natural wonder. That will give you a good bit of money. Oh, you were saying natural wonder, not wonder. I thought you were saying build wonder. Gotcha. Okay, we can do that. We need to choose where, though, because it's in the middle of a giant desert. Possibly up here? Or maybe here. Because I like being on a hill for the extra defensiveness. Being near the river would be good because it will give us a source of food. Do we need to be adjacent to this, or does it just need to be in our territory? I think it just needs to be in the territory. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of building a city up here. Rocky field with clay. +3 industry. I'm assuming that the city tile benefits from those resources. Let's go and take a look up here. That is a sanctuary right here. And this is marble, which is loads of dosh. And that's another thing to explore. Alright, I feel like I should probably be using my scouts to hunt a bit more. I just like exploring too much. I mean, it's interesting that that's a decision you have to make, seeing as you have these wild creatures that you can go after for resources right at the start. Old World tried to do something similar. It was kind of an interesting decision. Masonry. With the ability to hew rocks into precise blocks held together with mortar, buildings can last centuries instead of years, transforming the character of cities. So we can get forced labour. Working citizens is hard, will send many of them to an early grave, but sometimes the needs of the Empire necessitate sacrifice. Stoneworks gives us the strategic resource deposit bonus, and watchtower. Detection range on a castle, combat strength and combat for units adjacent, and then vision. Cool. Okay, so Babylon's still building. Nippur is building. Building tab has gone super dim, but yeah, it's still building. And tech. What are we going to research next? If we're thinking of going to the river city, we probably want irrigation. So, does that require domestication as well? No, just one of the two. Okay, then yeah, we're going to go irrigation. And we're going to be getting the horses later, so we don't need domestication yet. Alright, marvellous. Idle army. Yes, we want to send you probably down here so we can see what this is. Although we also need to send you over here so we can start working on the outpost. And in fact, we have 100 ducats, so I would say outpost first. Hey, Gleaners. Looks mostly like Endless Legend adapted to be Civ-style game. That's going to be fantastic. I agree. Like, they've clearly taken everything that they've learned from Endless Space and Endless Legend and have adapted it to this, which is really cool. Huzzah! Map looks beautiful. It does, doesn't it? The map looks really cool. That's really one of the things that's hooked me from the early gameplay footage I've seen. Halborg! Thank you very much for the gifted subs. Very much appreciate that. Huzzah! Ferraria. Karushirvan. The One True Devo, Ray Hunt, and Mitch. Congratulations on the gifted subs, courtesy of Halborg. Thank you very much for that. Huzzah! And welcome to the Maudlings to all of you who are new. Huzzah! Okay, we're going to send you up to here so we can get the outpost going. Ooh, what's that? It's just another location. And we're going to build outpost. It's going to cost us 45. Sold. So we'll get you going. It's going to take 2 turns. And Nippur has got an event. The first calendar. The invention of a calendar heralded a glorious day in the Empire's history. Now, with 2 major cities and numerous farming affairs needing to be harmonized across the land, it is time to standardize this calendar. Traders must have an easy means of synchronizing their activities. By what means do you wish to track the days? So we can choose either a solar cycle or a lunar cycle. Solar, the learned assure you that this calendar will better stand the passing of the seasons. Or lunar, the waxing and the waning of the moon is something familiar and comforting to the people. So I believe that we use a solar calendar. But we could also use lunar. I'm going to go with solar just because historical. I wonder what difference this will make. Probably another ideology thing, I would assume. Okay, Nippur is still building. Babylon has finished. So what else can we do here? We could build an archer, which doesn't actually cost any for the resources. Or we could just keep building buildings. I mean, I'm perfectly happy to just keep building buildings. I like buildings. So, possibly another farm here with the intention of building a marketplace. Or we could go for the market now. Wait, where's the market? Oh, we don't have one. Ha, okay. We don't have trade or whatever it is. Well, that kind of curtails that plan. We could also get tanning racks. It's very, very cheap. It will take us just one turn and will start us earning more money. You know what? Let's get the tanning racks. Very, very cheap. And the more territories we're claiming, and we are starting to claim more, that will start to rack up pretty quickly. Helborg wants me to drink some tea. Twice. 2 sips. And then 2. When will I do Castilla U4 again? Baldmaster, the best thing I can say is keep an eye on the schedule. I feel like I'm having to say this every day at the moment. The schedule is there for a reason. You need to invent writing so people can write their complaints to El Nazaire so you can build the market. Yeah, I know that was an event. One of the things that you can get when you research writing is how people record their debts. I'm hoping that one comes up again because that gave me a giggle. It's like the only use of writing is to record debts, obviously. So we're getting irrigation at the moment, so we'll probably do writing next. I think it's a good idea. What about more scouts? That's not a bad idea. I don't know exactly how... Oh, you know what? I've forgotten to give an administrator to Nippur. Let's do that first. So over here we can see like special people that are available. So we have administrators and we have generals. Generals, I imagine, are the number of armies you can have. Or is it units? It might be units, I'm not sure. But we have an administrator. Capital starts with 1 because it's basically you. But we can assign this administrator to Nippur, which will give it bonuses. Suffers from several malices from not being administered. Cannot build any units. The city is also more vulnerable to foreign agents. You can unlock more administrators via technologies. So you've got capital, administered cities, unadministered cities, and then outposts. Interesting. Assign. So Nippur is now a fully administered city. You can unassign it for a whopping 260 ducats if you want to change things around. It's silly to me that some ancient clay tablets we have are actually a collection of complaints to a copper trader for providing terrible service. Oh, love it. Okay, so these guys have got full movement, so we could go and check this out. Yeah, let's do it. Ooh, what's this? We got science. Irrigation. With a basic understanding of how the seasonal flooding of a river can be better controlled, water is no longer a matter for only the gods. Awesome. Right, let's go and research writing so that we can get the market quarter and the food market. Because the food market's the one that I've been... Oh, wait, the food market's a city building. It's not a exploitation building. It makes the market quarters even more efficient. Oh, interesting. Okay. Build me that.